All right, Patrick Reusse, can you explain to me when you pay Russell Wilson a $245 million sum for a contract extension, why Nathaniel Hackett would decide to burn the clock down and then attempt a 64-yard field goal and take the ball out of Russ's hands?
That might be. I just read about it. I didn't see it. I watched a little of the game yesterday, but when I read that, I said, "Wait, I thought the game was in Seattle. I thought the game was in Seattle, but
Yeah.
it must be in Denver." Trying a 64-yard field goal. Talk about a guy stepping in it right off the bat. He's already on probation. They already hate him. How can you do that? Go for it. Have Russell roll out and throw a 6-yard pass.
5 yards. They needed 4th and 5, and they had a ton of time left.
Apparently, and 3 timeouts.
Yes.
Apparently, they took about 20 seconds trying to figure out what he wanted to do, too. I said that the clock kept running, and he didn't.
Yeah.
He couldn't make up his mind, and he finally sent out the kicker. What? Talk about being coaching with complete fear. That's it, right? Where'd they find this clown? Was he the Packers?
Packers OC the last 3 seasons.
Packers OC, and he's Paul Hackett's kid, right?
Yeah, he's Paul's kid. Yeah. Paul didn't teach much about clock management and
but it's amazing. Don't these coaches all know that with the public, you win points for being aggressive, not for being cowardly, right?
Right.
So you're coaching your first game, and by the way, you just fumbled twice on the one. On the one, you cannot, roll out Russ. He didn't apparently look good. I watched 5 minutes. I don't know, but you got to roll out Russell. And the photo I saw today in the strip of Pete Carroll celebrating. I think it was well, maybe I just saw it online. I don't know. But Pete had to be shocked too, right? He's like, how did we win this game? By having a 60? What? It's just unbelievable. I would like to be listening. You guys should have Broncos call-in line today. That must be unbelievable.
That would be great too. I'd love to hear that.
They're nuts out there too.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't, because it's Colorado and you don't have the foaming at the mouth type of people. But when it comes to the Broncos, they're crazy. So,
well, Pat, the Seattle fans too were, booing Russell Wilson as loud as the Packers fans booed Favre when he took the field the first time in 2009 against them. Letting him have it. And I know he, basically requested his way out, but you think for a guy who brought that team to 2 Super Bowls and off the dormant that they'd have a little bit more respect. But no, the 12th man was all over him from the whole game.
Oh, that is weird. Yeah, that is weird. Why do they hate him? That's fans are goofy though. So what the hell? Even in Seattle, football fans everywhere are goofy. And other sports, they can be a little more relaxed and down, but in football, you're all foaming at the mouth idiots. So
you know what I think it is, guys? I think it's this. A day full of drinking will make you very angry.
That is true.
I think it's a day. I think if a noon Sunday, you might have got booed a little bit.
Might have gotten a little half applause. You're right. I never thought of that. The drinking, the night starting times contribute to some bad behavior. I've experienced that a couple of times in Philadelphia, Chicago, Soldier Field. Walking that gauntlet where they used to make us park at Soldier Field.
Yes.
That is, if they suspect, doesn't make a difference if they suspect you're a Chicago journalist or a visiting journalist, they hate you. They want you to, you're not treating their bears fairly. So, yeah, but it's god awful. When I read that this morning, I didn't stay for the end. When I read that this morning, I said, well, Viking fans should double celebrate having Kevin O'Connell because they didn't end up with this moron. What a deal. Unbelievable. His old man never was a success as a head NFL head coach either. He's supposedly an offensive genius, Paul, the old man.
Right.
But he was never. I don't. College, he didn't he have Southern Cal for a while or something? Didn't he?
Yes, he was pretty. He had a few high profile jobs. I thought
he never really got it done. So they can't choke. They choke when they get responsibility. That's a Hackett family trait. I'll say that right now. I'll make that judgment right now.
There are some people who were born to be coordinators.
Yes, that's true.
That's just what I've decided.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Pat, they also, I don't think he was available via trade, but the Vikings obviously made the move for Nick Mullins, to bring up a capable backup to Kirk if Kirk misses time. But Geno Smith yesterday for the Seahawks, starting like his first game in 6-7 years, looked great. He was great the whole game. I mean, he was really good in the first half. The second half,
great. Geno,
he looked great. He looked. John, did Geno Smith not look great or better than expected?
Yeah,
maybe that's
completed like his first 13 passes, and they
get
were chanting Geno because they were drunk.
Yeah, did he get in shape? Because he was, to me, he always looked fat. Maybe he got himself in shape. He looked like he, when he was stopped playing, he just sat and ate sandwiches on the bench or something. He looked tubby as hell. So maybe he got himself in shape. But I wouldn't read a lot into it as far as the Seattle's long-term prospects here. Geno being Geno before it's over, I would guess. So.
Week 1 though is great because week one in this league is the most overreact. You are so positive that your team is either great or horse bleep, and it's one game.
Yes, it is, and it's probably more meaningless than ever because nothing is accomplished in exhibition games anymore.
You're right.
Everybody comes in and they don't know how they're going to play. But certainly the formula that the Rams had and that O'Connell brought here, and with the Vikings are heading into week 2 with no injuries, so that's ladies and gentlemen, if you're buying Viking season tickets, know now that you will never see a regular play an exhibition game again, ever. Even a rookie number 1 draft choice will never play an exhibition game ever because it worked out so well for him so far.
And I don't think fans care now. I'm pretty certain they don't care. Like they're being ripped off. They know that, but I don't think that there's if you win, I don't think that there's pushback.
You know who I feel sorry for though?
Who?
Kids, the youth that get that they have the grandpas and the uncles that issue those tickets as their early Christmas present.
Oh, you're
early birthday present.
I love this.
They stick you with the exhibition tickets to show their affection for you. Kids, don't take it. If you're a 12-year-old kid and they try to give you tickets for a Viking exhibition, tell them you want the cash. Give me the cash. I don't want those tickets. Okay? No, it's like Gopher fans trying to give their grandkids tickets to the Western Illinois game. No, I don't want those.
You get to go. Money. Here are 2 ducats to New Mexico State, Jimmy. Screw you.
That's right. I want some tickets for a real game so I can scalp them. You cheap old SOB. So anyway, that's it. Speaking of hot tickets, I bet we'll have a screaming mob tonight for the start of the big Kansas City series at Target Field. Now, you got any tickets there?
I was going to ask that.
I will be there on Thursday. I have tickets for Thursday's game. No, it's a 6:40 game, and they're also doing double for season ticket holder appreciation month. All the discounts are doubled for the rest of the September home games. So 30% off beer and food, Pat. 30% off.
Gentlemen, one of the great things about Calvin's ownership of this team, at least for the first 15 years, is once you got past the first week after Labor Day, with the last 2 weeks, all day games. At the April, all day games. September, all day games, because we didn't have BSN to worry about. Them to. We didn't have regional TV. They knew nobody was going to come to the games anyway, so they played the day games. That way, Calvin could go have a nice dinner someplace. didn't have to go to the ball. It was fantastic. Those day games in September, fall, no cold weather. It was brilliant. Let's get back to doing that. BSN should realize that half the audience can't watch their games anyway. So why, what do they care? Nobody's going to be watching tonight anyway. They're going to get a point.
That's right.
06.
That's right.
Day games. We want day games in September, damn it.
And you know what? You're right. April too.
Yeah.
If you look at the amount of day games they have now stuck this poor team with for the first month next year at night, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's miserable.
Yes. You know what? One thing they had this year, as their attendance has been very mediocre, a very favorable summer schedule. They had a lot of games between Memorial Day and Labor Day, including 20 in August. And, the old August, that's when the rural folks came to town always traditionally. And even when they were bad, you'd get a little hit in August, but I didn't really notice it this year. It wasn't like there's an extra 3,000 people here because it's August. I didn't notice that this year.
Good thing there's 16 April home games next season, which is the most of any month they have. 16 home games in April at Target Field next year.
They're paying the price for the favorable schedule they got this year. And you know what? How many of those are against National League teams? 3-game series against National League teams that you can't make up anywhere else. So in other words, if it's snowing on Wednesday night, you're still going to play because you can't make up those games. They had one of those situations in the Yankees game on Sunday, right? That they had to wait hours because they weren't going to play that team again. Who was that they were playing? They had a 4 or 5 hour rain delays, whatever it was. Next year, this they're not going to get away with this schedule with playing all the National League teams. Playing them all 3 times because they're going to get caught by the weather. Because not too many places have roofs. So.
Right. So what? Off days you just have. If you can't play, just go back in like August on an off day.
What the hell they're going to do?
I mean, how do they do that?
How many compatible off days are there? I heard that. Yeah, one reason that Cleveland had to wait a bunch of time to play a game too recently was that there was no compatible dates in the last month of the season with the team they were playing. I can't remember who it was, but I don't know. It's not a game. It's not a game intended to be played in either freezing, rainy, or snowy weather. But
no,
that's going to end up happening. Yeah.
It's absolutely not. Hey, what are your thoughts on the rule changes that were announced on Friday? What, we got a pitch clock, we got bigger bases.
I'm okay at bigger bases. I don't have any. When we get more guys tripping over first base, running down there and breaking ankles, because it's bigger, maybe we'll revisit that one. I'm in favor of obviously the pitch clock, especially after seeing Louis Farland pitch. And get the ball, throw it back. And the shift, but I do not buy the you can't put your feet on the grass part of that.
I agree with that.
A guy like Correa with a great arm, a shortstop with a great arm who can play on the grass should be allowed to play on the grass. And same with second base. Traditionally, when Ted Williams played, they had a second baseman 25, 30 feet out into right field. That's fine. It's just having 3 guys on that side of the infield I don't agree with, and I don't like I think maybe that dirt part is to prevent you from bringing an outfielder in too or something. I don't know what that is about, but going to the 4-man outfield and not going to the 2-man outfield and the extra infield, maybe that's the reason. I don't know, but I guess the throw over, I was saying the throw over is stupid, but then I was talking to Mr. Baseball, my son, and he said, well, if they didn't have that limit, then that's how you would defeat the pitch clock, right?
Right.
You just if the clock's getting late, you haven't made up your mind, you just throw it over, right?
Right.
And
That's a good point.
Yeah. So
you know who's going to be benefiting most from
anything that speeds up the ball game, I'm in favor.
Yeah, Pat, you know who's going to be benefiting most from the shift being banned? I think Max Kepler might be licking his chops right here because he loves to ground right over to into that shift every single time.
He's number Dan Hayes from the Athletic showed me this stat. He's number 2 in all of Major League Baseball behind Corey Seager, well behind Corey Seager, but for hitting into the shift, for outs into the shift. But I'm surprised it was only 68 or something that he hit it into the shift. But then again, he missed time too. He doesn't. I think if he played every day, he could have been up there about 80, 85. So
right,
balls into the shift. Yeah, it should help him, but I don't know. He just doesn't make hard contact like he used to. I don't know.
He might not be that good right now. I mean, that's the thing is I can't decide if it's going to help him a ton or if he's just tailed off or dropped off so badly since 19 that he's just lost it.
Tommy Hamilton, I was talking to him when he was in town with Cleveland, the great announcer, and he said, "What happened?" He said, that guy terrified us. He had 3 home runs there, once, and he hit all these home runs against
Bauer.
He said, if you would have asked Tito, he would have been the best of the whole bunch of them, the young guys that were coming up. And I don't know what happened to him. But the one thing you see certainly ruined Snow, ruined Chris Davis, and, different type of hitters. But maybe he can't handle the velocity and maybe just can't handle the velocity that they're now facing, and the fact that you never get to see the same pitcher a third time. I think that's had a lot to do with the failures of some guys we thought were good hitters, So, but the thing about the Twins, and Phil had something today about it. They don't score early anymore. One of their secrets of success was scoring early, and now the hitting numbers are just awful lately, just awful. But you know why? Because of who they're playing on the field, because of who's on the field, because Gilberto Celestino is your everyday center fielder, and he's a .230 hitter. So, in reality.
Is Buxton coming back now, or are we pretty sure he ain't coming? I mean, it feels like he's not coming back.
Never gets mentioned, does it?
No. Fairly significant.
I mean, if he didn't come home back this weekend, and when do they go to Cleveland? Friday? Is that must be a carryover series, huh? 2 on Saturday and a Monday game too.
I think that's right. Yeah,
because it's 5 games. So
yep.
Cleveland, the margin is now 5. Cleveland won again last night.
Did you see what happened last night in one sequence? So
Ron Culpa,
he threw out Francona and Nevin in the same because of the same thing argument.
Well, no, Nevin wanted because Tito had because Francona had argued so long, he wanted to let his pitcher have a warm-up.
And his pitcher was mad, and his pitcher and Culpa, and I think he was trying to defend him.
Ron Culpa, but guess what? Francona was wrong. The ball, he did not get hit. The ball popped out of the catcher's glove and landed on his foot.
Why was Francona so worked up about that entire sequence?
That's Culpa.
Okay, and Culpa had the red ass, so
probably had some old feud with Culpa.
Okay.
He was not a. When I was looking, I looked at the umpire and I wondered if it was Hunter Wendelstedt, because they all hate him and he's got a red ass. He's the guy that Bobby Cox. The one time he was at Target Field, we were in there talking to him before the game and he said Hunter Wendelstedt had thrown Gardy out like the day before or something. Hunter Wendelstedt wouldn't make a good pimple on his old man's bleep. Which, as the media is gathered around, that might be. I don't know if Coxie would have survived in the current environment if somebody would have said that with various reporters around. But these were guys he all knew, So anyway, what else is happening?
What I was going to say though is the job Francona has done, because he's been in and out with health problems, right, Pat? The last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and he was out for a while this year, but he's back and doing
My
good.
God, he's
youngest team in the major leagues by average age. I'll tell you what, the guy that belongs in the psych hospital though is that pitcher, the hair guy, bobbling the ball up. And down.
The guy from who?
Yeah. Take a Valium, dummy, and let's get going here. He's going to have a little trouble with the 15-second clock next year because he's still out there juggling the ball up in the air.
We're going to have, I think, the return of ejections far more frequently next year.
Oh yeah, because they'll be arguing about the ball
clock and the clock
strikes. Yes,
we're going to have. Old pitchers are pissed. They're not going to like this.
Well, plus who's monitoring the clock? If you don't get the hometown clock operator who gives your pitcher 2 extra seconds and starts it when the ball's just appearing in the guy's glove for the other, you can have a crooked clock too. Who's gonna start the clock, man? At college, and one of the great things about college basketball, they don't get away with it as much anymore. But it used to be the clock operators that last, As I said, the worst thing that ever happened to basketball is tenths, putting tenths on the clock, because that's why we have to go over and huddle to see if there's 5.8 seconds left or 5.6. But the old clocks that just had seconds on it, they could just buzz it, get it over with. The hometown scorekeeper could rob you like he's supposed to be able to and get on with life. That's now they got tenths, and it's ruined the game. It takes the last 2 minutes, take 10 minutes longer now because we have tenths on the clock.
You are correct.
And
all right.
These refs can't stand not to run over there and huddle down and look at the clock and make themselves the center of attention. And by the way, a few moments of my football watching, not the Viking game so much, but a couple of other games. Hockley was doing a game.
It's his old man.
Yeah,
he watched his old man.
Oh yeah, he's a pain in the ass. He just can't shut up. Let him play. And he gave the 15-yard. Wasn't him? Last night we had a 15-yard penalty for rubbing the slop off a ball. And the guy was really proud to announce that too, wasn't he? This league, as I always say, your goal should be not to call a penalty, not to call a penalty. But they're a bunch of raven egomaniacs, especially in the NFL.
All right, Reusse, we will talk to you again on Thursday.
All right, see you. Goodbye.
Bye.